so I'm recording. What is up, guys? My name is Ian, full-time day trader, or actually full-time construction worker trying to become a full-time day trader. Let's freaking go. We'll go into, oh, sorry. We'll go into my, we're gonna grab all the trades. This is how I take the trades. Log into my account here, and then I go into my account tab, and then drop down and go export trades in the orders today. So I'm actually gonna go 1 month so I can get yesterday's trades, export orders, go here, then I go into my email. Let me see my email. This is my email strictly for trading. And then I go into the email that I just got sent. Here are my orders. I'll download both orders. These are on my cash account. And right now, this is the cash account right here. So what I'm gonna do now is then I'm going to go to TradeZilla. So let's pull up TradeZilla here. And I'm log in. And then let me download these orders. I go into TradeZilla. I logged in here. I add my trades. I go into the Mauloa cash account here. I upload file, and then I just upload these two files that are here. I do it again, upload file, do 16 now. Now that it's all uploaded, I go to dashboard, and now my overall account balance. This is how much I was down, bro. Guys, this is how much I was down 32 grand. 32 freaking grand, bro. I was down that much. Now, with these trades lately, I'm up 4,000 is what it's saying, or 20. Sorry, let me get this point. Let me just, so right there. Wow, freaking crazy. So that's the total here. No. So I go into day view. Once I go into day view, I click here. I took 19 trades, total of 23,640. Let's take a look at all my trades. So here on Tesla, I got in, let's see here. I got in right here for this small scalp. I took some puts, but ended up going up, so I lost $7. I had only one contract. So if we go down to the options chain here, I bought in at 20 cents for one contract, and then sold at 13 cents or $13, so I lost $7. I need to fill in my mistakes here. Tesla here, I was short Tesla. So what I saw here is, I saw a push here. It was consolidating to the downside. It dropped. Then it was consolidating up. And I thought it was going to go up. That's another trade, but it went down. And then I saw this pattern here. I was like, okay, it's consolidating down. It's going to make this drop even more. I was in the green for a little bit, and then sold off or added to it. Anyway, I was in 44 contracts. Ended up losing $1,971. And then I bought in at an average price of 63 and sold at 18 cents when it went all the way up here. I was like, dude, I should have sold and took less of a hit, but stopped out. I was thinking it was gonna pop here, drop down. It came back down, started to look favorable, but it was at 30 cents. I was like, oh, the option's about to expire, so I should have just sold it all off. But these are my later trades throughout the day. I'm like, you know what? I should downsize when I trade later in the day and do the bell curve. Okay, capitals, let's go. And then anyway, I thought it was gonna come down, drop, but it showed a little push to the upside, and then I just had to stop out. Just needed to say goodbye. So ended up selling there. Took a little trade here for $30 profit. I averaged at 63 for a put right here on the downside. And then um, I exited for 69. So I was in it 5 contracts. So 30 bucks profit. If we can see on the option side, got in at about 63 and then sold at 69. I market order everything. I don't set limits. Here I lost 860. So this is where I thought I was gonna go for a push higher. It was consolidating, ascending triangle here. It ended up breaking down to the downside and going pretty heavy. Once it broke the trend line, I should have just stopped out, but I didn't. So that was a total loss of 860, 86, 860. But I was only trading in the cents, right? So I averaged in for about 65 cents, sold at 22 cents for a loss of 860. I'm working from the latest trades all the way back to the beginning trades of the day. So here Tesla for 566 profit. Got in at 73 cents, 10 contracts, and sold at $1. So here was the options chain. Got in here, got in here, got in here for some puts and averaged up, and it worked in my favor. So here's when I caught this move here. I was like, oh wow, this broke to the downside. Let me try and just average small size. So I got in 1 contract, and then 2, then 3, then 4, and all the way up to 10, and then sold right here. And you know what? I was happy with this trade. It was good. Coin, I took an open position on coin for the upside on a call. My average price is $2. Right now I'm down 2 grand on it. Still holding that one for next week, expiring next week. So I got in for 240 calls. My thesis is Bitcoin's making a big push, and so it gapped up in pre-market, kind of was making this ascending triangle, and then just ended up pushing all the way up higher to $216. So my thesis next week is that it'll come up to about 240. If it hits 240, then I'm in the money. If not, my cost basis is 5 grand. And I'll just have to stop out sometime. But if I'm following this trend line here, we'll go 5 days. So my thesis is, see this uptrend here? I'll just draw a quick line connecting my points. So if it breaks this trend line here from when it started, I'll stop out at about 200. But if not, you know, it might make a push higher, then I'll be more in the money. But I bought some calls for next week, so we'll see what the thesis is there. So hopefully it works in my favor. If not, you know, I set the stop loss here. But this push here, these pushes here is good news to me. Let's see these levels though. So right here, you have some resistance here at 215. It broke 215. Oh no, it kind of like paused at 215, at 216. So we got about $1 range of resistance here at 216, 215. Here, maybe another one at 214. So this is either make or break. If by Tuesday it doesn't make a push higher and breaks this range of 214 to 216, maybe it's time to stop out. So just some notes there. But coin ended up going up and then consolidating back down to about pretty close to open range. It opened at about 206 and closed at about 206. So I bought in here. Let's see if it'll break this trend line and keep going. So Bitcoin is going on a rampage right now, so my thesis is coin should be a good trade for a short for expire next week. So that's my position here. QQQ made a quick $344. Got in at average of 20 contracts. My average size was 70 cents, and then average exit was 88 cents. So between all this, I bought. Made a little push here and sold pretty much at the top right there. So QQQ was consolidating. Same here. Bought here, and then the options price went to about close to $1, and then just had to sell. I was like, man, it's already gone. QQQ already went to push higher. Like, if it goes up, sometimes it's just gotta come down, and eventually it did. So that was a QQQ trade. Tesla. This is the Tesla call that I got in. So the average price was $1.18. I got in at 60 contracts, and then exited at 293 average price here. So here's where I got in, and then it kept going up. Saw this consolidation here, bought in a little bit more, and then it rose again. Let's check the options. This is the actual stock there. Let's go down, and then so I bought in at about 50 cents here. Came up to $1.75, 196. I sold a little bit here at 3, and then a little bit more at 4. So happy with my trades. Made 10,000 there. This is the MSTR trade. So bought a bunch here, sold off, and sold off there. Bought some more, sold. So made 3 grand on that one. Here's the options chain here for this stock. Bought in here, sold here. So I got in at a total of 130 contracts traded. Bought in at 78 cents average price for all my buys, and then sold at about $1.02 for 60 contracts. Made 3,196 for some MSTR calls. And then here, Meta lost 47 cents. My thesis was, Meta's just going to make a push higher. It was kind of making this ascending triangle, but it broke. I just was in it 2 contracts, and wasn't too heavy. It wasn't too sure of the push here, so I wasn't too like favorable. I just wanted to get in just to see if it'll make a little push higher. Didn't. Ended up stopping out. I'm glad I did. Tesla lost 1,847. Got in here early off the break. I was like, you know what? I'm going for it. And for some calls, ended up dropping down. Took a while to consolidate, and I was like, you know what? I'm already down. I'm just gonna sell off and hit my stop loss, because yesterday it just kept going down and down and down. So you just gotta watch it, see where it starts picking back up. But if we look at here, it ended up going up to $5 for 405 calls. Bought in here. If I would have held, right? It shoulda, coulda, woulda, didn't. I just gotta manage my risk, manage my trade. Up 23,640 yesterday. So happy with my trades. Super happy with my trades. So I lost 18 there, and then coin. Uh, just bought in about here, and then bought in some more about here, and then sold off right there. Total 35 contracts. I held this one. Looked at the options chain, got in for about 60, and then bought some more at about 3, and then sold just kind of around this range. And that was the peak right there. That was the peak of the day. So glad I sold when I did. Average entry was $1.35, and then average exit was 216. So decent trade there. Super excited about that one. Meta down 47 cents. Took another trade on Meta just for two contracts again. Or no, already went through that one already. Sorry. EFOI saw this. This was a small cap. I got in pre-market, so a little bit before market open. I got in at about right about around here, about $2. So my average entry was 435 and then sold at 765 here at pre-market. Up in the open. It ended up gapping all the way up to 9. Would have made, shoulda, coulda, woulda, didn't, but managed my risk. Got in here, came down, went back up. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna set my level, stop loss right here. If it broke this trend line here, I'm stopping out. So that's what I did. And then ended up going a little bit higher, consolidated in market open, and then made a push all the way up to $9. I had 600 contracts at 435. If I would have held all the way, EFOI would have been a nice runner for me. But I'm happy with my trade. It is what it is. There, I lost 325. Here's when I started to learn to stop out quick and ended up stopping out there. And then these are all small cap trades I was trying to take, but I'm trying to keep my losses small and then my winners big. This is the one from yesterday. I got into 150 calls here. On the previous day at 148, and then ended up selling at 166. So this is the crazy one. So that one was a gain of 9,000, but shoulda, coulda, woulda, didn't. It ended up going the options chain. Check this out. So I got in here at freaking 12 cents, or my average price was 9 cents. Saw this, came back. I was like, you know what? It's gonna make a push higher. I ended up pushing higher, and then ended up making its way all the way to $2. Did the math. I think I would have made like 50K on this trade here, but you know what? Manage my risk. My risk. Um, Average sell price was 72 cents. Got in at 9 for 150 contracts. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, didn't. Managed it pretty well for 9,000 gain. Happy about that. Who would have thought? I did 175 calls, super out the money. I spent about $1,000 and then profited about, that was a 712% return. But that was exciting. That was awesome. Great trade there. I was like, at least I sold pretty close to the top at that time. Ended up coming back down and then making a push all the way up to 240. But, I'm glad I did what I did. This was pretty much a gamble, but hey, we green. If it was gonna stop out, I was only in it $1,000. If it was going down even more, I'm like, you know what? I've already made 25 the previous day. I can risk $1,000. So if MSTR was going down, but MSTR, if you look at the price action here, it had already made a big move right here to 148 from 140 to 148, and then it opened at 154 and making a, that's the fib. Let's see. Making, oh, that's Fibonacci. I'm trying to see what the price change difference is. So it ended up making a total of, wait, it's not even the tool. What the heck? Where is that tool? Fibs, all the fibs, all the patterns, forecasts. Making about an $18 move. yesterday, up to 173. Yo, let's go. So it went up 12%, MSTR, gapped in the middle here. So my thesis is it's still gonna push to about 200. Got some great news on it. We'll see what it does Monday pre-market. We'll be checking that out. So anyway, guys, those are my trades. Profit of 23,000. Let's freaking go. Manage your risk. Keep moving forward. You guys got this. Never stop trading. Never stop trying. All right, guys. Till next time. Keep moving forward.